也是 right, call to order, roll call.
Mayor Carroll,
Here.
Commissioner Hill,
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez, here, Chairman Landers,
Here.
Commissioner McGee, Commissioner Moore,
Here.
Commissioner Taylor,
Here.
Councilmember Blevins,
Here.
and Commissioner Wilhoit.
Here.
You have a quorum, Mr. Chairman, 8 members present, 1 absent.
All right, good deal. Approval of the agenda. Everybody looked that up for any changes?
Yes, there are changes.
Oh, that's one, I know.
Yes, if we can remove items B and C under the legislative, which has to do with the annexation and the rezoning of 131 Arch Chapel Road.
Duly noted.
Make a motion to approve minus B and C.
Second.
Motion made, second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, approval of the minutes. July 24th meeting. Motion approved.
Second.
And second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Constituent comments, do we have any?
I do not have any. Does anyone wish to make a comment about anything on the agenda tonight?
Being none, we'll move right into old business, which there is none, so we'll move on into new business. Legislative decisions, rezoning of 128 Dover Street, tax map 079L GRPC partial 24. Shannon Lee Harris, owner, is requesting a favorable recommendation of the planning commission to the city council for the rezoning of approximately 0.93 acre parcel from C2 general business to R3 medium density residential zone district proposed for a single family residential land use. Parcel is identified in the future land use map as mixed density residential character area.
Yes, the underlying zoning in this area and surrounding the property is commercial 2 or C2. But the land use that is surrounding it are all single family or some type of residential. And Mr. Harris is looking to or requesting a favorable recommendation to City Council to allow the rezoning from C2 to R3. In the report, you'll see the criteria for the staff findings and recommendation, and if the Planning Commission concurs with it, then we're requesting a favorable recommendation. This will go to the City Council on September 2nd, and then that will be the study session and then the first reading on 9/11. And then if it gets approved, you'll be going to the second reading in October. This is a concept plan Mr. Harris had submitted, and you can see from the, it's just a survey drawing, it's single family. He's got a house and garage that he's building on there. This property does have a, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Harris, does it have a shed building or some kind of storage building, or was that removed?
It's got an old barn, it's just been there for years.
So there's an accessory on there that is non-conforming because typically you don't have an accessory structure without a principal structure. But if the rezoning occurs and the house constructed, then it'll be made conforming. You can see from the future land use map, you have the mixed density character area. R3 is an appropriate future use for that. There is infrastructure and services that's already available, even at the time of the when he constructs his house. The what was I thinking about? I lost my train of thought there for a second. But you can see here the. I see her. She's standing. Subject is right there. That is the parcel which is in the commercial zone district. Dover Street, which this is fronting on, is actually a local road. Union Street is the one that is the collector, or I think it might be an arterial. So there's existing neighborhood. You can see all the land uses, even though it's in commercial. There is residential all the way around, and then you've got the cemetery to the south. Planning department, it's consistent and compatible with the future land use map and underlying zoning, as well as the proposed project would meet all the zoning ordinance for that. There were, most of these comments here are related to during construction time period. So we're asking for a favorable recommendation to city council to allow the rezone. And if I'll take any questions.
Was there a specific reason why you're going for an R3 versus an R1, considering that it's just a single family home?
Only because the surrounding area is R3. It could definitely fit within the R1 because it is 40,000 square feet. But just to keep the zoning cohesive around the neighborhood, not that R3.
Yeah, to the left, isn't that our county educational building and DMV and all
That
that
is
right there?
correct.
So you have government offices to the left and then commercial to the right. So although there are some residential further down the road, where exactly are houses in that area?
Yeah, these two are houses, those are houses next to it, and then yes, you have the county building. And even on the backside, you have houses along here. I think the commercial is on that tail.
Majority of residential development on
Correct.
that road is
Way down further, right?
Yeah,
That's what I thought. So my understanding was there's two
that's
gas stations there and then
more
there's a
existing and
floral
older
and then there's.
dwellings where this subject is, I would say.
Yeah, and when I went back into, I guess,
So I
back
think
to
the
19.
intent was to try to keep some commercial in that area to
The-
be able to convert those residential in the future to commercial, so that way we had commercial land.
Well, since 1992, or before 1992, these houses go back further than that. But yes, in 2009 zoning ordinance, it shows it as commercial
Right, we
area.
wanted to be able to have that reserved for future commercial development.
Well, I would propose an alternative, which is on Union Street side, I could see
Yeah.
that being preserved. And we do have actually one property across the street that is looking to turn the Union frontage into commercial. But since this was on the local road and on the back side, that was the thinking.
Yeah, and it seems not to compromise the commercial potential along
Union,
Union.
yeah, not along Union, but I mean, there's offices next to it. There's just further down, there's a towing company. There's a little bit more commercial industrial that's developing along Dover. So he may still end up being smushed between, residential smushed between commercial in the end.
It's on a threshold there. It's kind of it's a changing point
Yeah.
there. It's mixed.
The transitional area.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Well, we know that the cemetery will never change.
Right?
So, and I mean, a lot of those houses that are beside, Mr. Harris they've been there for a while. One of them, is it your mother that owns the other property?
They've all been there before I was born.
Yeah.
60+ years old.
So that was the thinking or in my head, what I was thinking about was that because that was on a local road and that certainly on the Union Street side to the northeast and further down, there's going to be commercial involved.
One thing I'll have a comment on Dover Street. There has been a substantial amount of construction in the last 4 or 5 years. In saying that, the road probably could use some improvements and isn't the widest in town, which is just what it is. But in that area, it being an R3 and adding potentially more traffic onto, I guess at a different point, we would be able to see how we could kind of handle that. I mean, the idea is there's just a lot of people that go down through that hill and they fly through there, and you don't want to get more than you need to.
Yes, and as the development is occurring down there, we're requiring greater right-of-way, expanding the right-of-way, because it's still, throughout there, it is, a smaller.
And it's hard in this area because it's almost right across from the cemetery, and so there's really not much.
It is, but once you rezone it R3 and he wants to come in and build multifamily on it
Yeah.
next year,
Yeah.
there's nothing.
What's
nothing
the,
we can do.
that would be, the max would be a duplex on an R3?
On the R3, yes.
So-
And you need 15,000 square feet.
And there duplexes down the road, like, there's a subdivision, new subdivision being built right off of that road that's not completed.
It's actually not a bad area to have duplexes, even if that was a future development way, whenever. Because it's, like you said, the location is actually a good location for either or. I was more worried about like offices and mixed use or, something.
Do we have the 50 feet of public right of way in front of this parcel, or are we getting any right of way as part of this rezoning?
No, this one is, let me go back to the survey.
Good question, Josh.
Yeah, this is just, was submitted with the rezoning. We haven't gone to that. I'm sure that during the building permit phase, we can request that, so.
Yeah, because this is an area we need that right of way, so while
Yeah.
we're going through the process, let's go ahead and get it.
Yeah, because further down, we have the same thing. We had to expand the right of way through there, so. And this is, it's been vacant probably, I think, I only have a 1992 and a 2007 aerial photograph, so sometime between there, it looks like there was a house there because you can see the concrete pad, and in the 1992 photograph, you can see what looks like a house. And but it's been vacant pretty much since that time period, about 2007, at least.
Okay.
That's when we thought,
2007?
no,
Well, 1992.
back in the nineties.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to provide a favorable recommendation to city council.
Motion made, seconded, roll call.
You did say favorable.
Yes, favorable recommendation.
Thank you.
Sorry, that was.
That's okay. Councilmember Blevins,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilhoit.
Yes.
Mayor Carroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Hill,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Chairman Landers,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, skipping D and C, we'll move right into the planning commission decisions. D, site plan for 3,600 square foot airplane storage hangar, Shelbyville Municipal Airport, tax map 50, parcel 23. St. John Engineering representing the leasee, Randy Hooper, and Paul Perry, owner and representative director of the Shelbyville Municipal Airport, are requesting the approval for the planning commission for a new 3,600 square foot aircraft storage hangar located at the Shelbyville Municipal Airport.
All right, so if you can see the little red arrow, that is the approximate location of it. There's no new parking or stormwater for this type of use. The stormwater, I should say, the drainage utilizes what is existing there for the airport. This is a project that the airport engineer will coordinate and review during construction. It is not something that Will Owen does this part of it. Let's see, there's only one condition on this. We're requesting, staff is requesting approval of it, having met all of them except for one condition, which is to submit the as-built plans of utility and infrastructure to the city and Shelbyville Power. This project, okay. So, right there, that's where it's going, right? It's showing the three other hangars that are in the location of it. And this is what it looks like. So we're looking at just a 3,600 square foot hangar. It's a metal building. And then some concrete that will connect up to the asphalt right there. I've been throwing in the North Gateway or the comprehensive plan as well as the underlying zoning, connecting those ones as well. It's all appropriate for this particular use. Meets all the bulk standards for the I-1 zoning district. Now this one, and I don't know if you recall, but previously, the previous hangars, they were actually didn't have fire protection. We didn't have the hydrants. We do have it coming now. So this is where the actual Randy's hangar is. It's not, that gap is not as quite as big, but it's just showing this on the Garver's engineering plan. And you will see that they actually have the fire protection lines and hydrants, which will service all those hangars. And Paul was waiting on the permit approval, and we were expecting probably, well, he said 60 days. I put 60 to 90 days when the work will actually be completed. So probably by the time that Mr. Hooper's hangar goes up, we'll have fire protection up there for that. And for that reason, the only thing that, because the water lines haven't been installed, that fire protection line hasn't been installed yet, that's the as-built plan that we were talking about as far as conditions. So we're recommending approval plan with that one condition to provide the as-built plans.
Okay.
And that will be the city that's actually providing the as-built plans. So it's not Mr. Hooper.
The fire protection will be through the hydrant, not necessarily through each building being sprinkled.
That's correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
That's just me.
Tom, at the airport today, I think he said we'll be getting pipe. Lisa, did you say this week?
I think you said next week.
Next week. The pipe's still.
Okay, great. Yeah, because I know it was a short time that he was waiting on. We were just waiting on that permit approval and then before.
I want to think you had got the permit approved just today.
Yeah.
So then it'll really be about 60 days then from now.
Just got it.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
Motion to approve with the one condition.
I'll second.
Motion made, seconded, roll call.
Mayor Carroll,
Yes.
Commissioner Gill,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Chairman Landers,
Yes.
Commissioner Moore,
Yes.
Councilmember Blevins,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wilhoit.
Yes.
All right, E, major subdivision concept, Victory Park, multifamily townhomes and horizontal property regime located on Cedar Glade Circle, tax map 69, parcel 5601 and 5608. St. John Engineering, representing the property owner, Victory Baptist Church, is requesting conceptual review, proposed 150 townhome units in HPR on 2 parcels with a combined acreage of 12.82 acres, zone R4 high density residential.
Okay, and I should put on there, David Alcorn, who's also here, he is the developer. And you can see that the location of it is right behind Victory Baptist Church. There is an existing house on, I think parcel 56.08 that will have to be removed. Because single-family residential is actually non-conforming to the R4 zone district. You can see in the future land use map, it is a North Main Street corridor. It is zone R4. So it's meeting the bulk, the proposed concept does meet the density requirements and the bulk regulations. But I will say with one exception, because there was a change in our regulation, bulk regulations, and you'll need 100-foot frontage instead of the 75 that's shown. But I can show you, and then also, we don't have the elevations yet, but you can see from the plans that they're starting to think about the design standards and having varying planes in the plans to show the distinctions.
What does that show cost there?
What? Oh, this is from design standards. It's illustrated. You know, that's the illustrated part. Yeah, we don't have a landscape plan in this concept, and it'll be coming when it comes through with preliminary plat. This is the concept plan, and This was the actual resubmittal from the original comments, but you can see from where that red arrow is where you need that 100-foot frontage. That's where the change occurred. And you can see that it's, they've got 30% of the open space, and the drawing indicates that they have 15% usable, but I think that there just needs to be some work on that part of it. We don't have any of the elevations yet, but if you look at the different units, you can see how it's starting to vary. It's kind of hard to see in this one, but it's starting to vary in the plane, but we'll know a little bit more, we'll have a little bit more clarification once the elevations are submitted. But these are all townhomes.
Good pause for a second. Well, would you be able to see that concept again, this commission, with the elevation or?
Oh, yes. They've submitted I haven't looked at the preliminary plat application that came in today, but they've submitted the preliminary plat, and they're already aware of the architectural part. Yes.
Is any of this encroaching into the floodplain?
No, none, not that.
Because it's pretty close, and when I look on the FEMA flood map, although they're showing the FEMA floodplain there, when you go onto the FEMA floodplain map, it's definitely looks very close or overlapping. And would this be required to be reviewed by FEMA or the Corps of Engineers, being that, because although the red stripe there is AE floodplain, you also have buffer floodplain that comes out from that AE floodplain, and then a little bit further into what may be encroaching into some of those towns.
Yeah, the floodplain management is, it's, Brian Stevens is our floodplain manager, and he'll review that part of it. Because this is a concept level and it's informational.
Gotcha.
Yes. And I'll make sure that
Yeah, because your detention ponds are either in the overflow buffer zone of the AE, or they're in the AE. There's a lot of where you're trying to retain water, where you're already going to have a lot of water. And so not sure the capabilities of those detentions. It may be that he's going to have to do some extra scrutinizing on making sure that those are dug deep enough to handle both floodplain and detention area from the development. So we don't have additional flooding on the neighboring properties.
As you can see, they've put the required number of parking spaces, 8% of 2 per townhome unit, as well as 8% for guest parking.
Entrance and exit, is it 2 or just 1?
Just the one, this is, sorry, I'm pointing to the wrong.
There to the
screen.
left, is it coming out on, what's that HUD next to
Yeah,
it?
this is, here's the other connection, correct? Oh, sorry. This one. Yes, okay. So this is the connection across the street to the PUD to the south.
Okay.
And then the private street here. It's all actually private street, or it's proposed to be private.
The issue, I think something that I see, just some, and that feedback that I'll give, and I'm probably not the only one, I may be, is when you're coming off of 231, when you're riding down 231 to find that road, it is extremely difficult. I really don't notice it, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because of the signage or if it's just hidden. But there's been a few times where I've missed it going back through there, and I don't know if this is the stage to address that. But there are a lot of dwellings planned within that area, or townhomes, or there's a
Sure. And I can show you
that really
one to the south there as well. And they're required to have a traffic study,
Okay.
so that traffic study will identify.
I'm sure it will identify that.
So,
Okay, that's just something I wanted to.
yeah, because I don't remember. Anyway.
But and the traffic study will be, conducted down, and it just at a concept level here, and it just wants
Yes.
feedback.
Yes, they're looking for feedback.
And that's and I really would like to see the elevation. of those, but this is something, something to give feedback on. Now, is the other development started across the road, or the one we approved a few years ago?
There is
Been
a
any
portion,
construction started on that?
you can see where the gradings happen and
Yeah, there's been some
Right
dirt, okay, a lot of, okay,
Is that one next to Walmart?
yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
they've been moving dirt out there by Walmart for a little while.
It hadn't been better. It's been a while, but I knew that they had been.
yeah, and what,
Foundations for the first two buildings are warmed up, so that will just.
Oh, okay.
And they're the same elevations, so Cedar Lake 3 and Victory Park has the same elevations.
and one of the things Mr. Alcorn has asked the city about, or staff, I should say, is just looking at, okay, you can't see it, but it's at the very bottom here. There are townhome units that connect up to this road. And city's been in discussion that maybe
Right.
that road can actually, if I have a picture of it. Yeah. Yeah, that eventually, I don't have the full picture, but eventually there might be a potential to connect all the way over to Fairfield Pike.
Oh.
So, Mr. Alcorn has, I mean, and there's no commitment or anything like that. There's only been talk about it. We were talking about, maybe changing those townhomes, connect, or, fronting on that, because they've all had direct access on that road. So that was the thought.
Yeah, there's still 39 driveways on that road. If we eliminate the 39 driveways, let it just be a road.
Oh, yeah, I do have it. It's the grayed out, sorry. Yeah, you can see the grayed out section on here, and then there's further down there, you can see just the edges of it.
Can I, Tom? You came for comments, so I just wanted to share some with you. As my friend Bobby that sits here usually says, I'm just gonna let her rip. This is a very disappointing concept to me. We've recently changed our open space plans intentionally to try to get some outdoor recreation area for our residents. There is nothing on this plan where if we had a group of kids, they wanted to go out and play some flag football or soccer or a game of basketball, or you want to go walk your dog, there's not good pedestrian interconnectivity. Most of that open space is in the floodway or the floodplain. What we were hoping for was some playgrounds, some recreation areas, some, a clubhouse, a pool, something. I mean, we've got, our HUD housing in town has more recreation availability than this development does right here. And this is a commercial development. I realize you're trying to maximize your number of units on the acreage, but it would sure be nice if you could find some way to get some better walking areas and kind of outdoor recreation for kids. I mean, we've got, usable open space marked as a 20 by 20 foot, square of grass behind a dumpster. I mean, what are kids supposed to do back there? So that's what we were going with some of the changes that we made. And this isn't hitting it. So I realize you're hitting the minimums. Parking is another thing. We're about to look at our parking standards. I can tell you from living in a neighborhood in the past that looks like this, you just got the bare minimum. You're right at our parking standard there. Once all those units are full of people, there's going to be people fighting over parking there. You got 3-bedroom unit with 2 parking spaces. You're going to have people that are going to have 3 or 4 cars. I mean, that's just the way it is. They had a couple friends over. There's
Two
just
teenagers
a lot
and a working mom, that's all you
Yeah.
need.
There's a lot of things that can be improved on this, just beyond meeting the minimum standards that would make this more of a livable neighborhood for people that are coming here into the city. So I realize you're hitting the minimums, you're doing what we're asking for, but it would be nice to see a little more. So just my opinion, you asked for comments, so. Thank you.
Thank you, Josh, because those were exactly my thoughts earlier when I previewed this before coming tonight, and I concur 100%.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Did you have any questions for the planning commission?
No, that's helpful, and that, just back to that 39, so there's those, you see the one side of that street, the gray shade, the other side is kind of the same, and that's where those 39 We're looking to move that, maybe move that road, but we'd have to change the flood of Cedar Glade.
Yes.
And this side of the road is commercial, so probably, you know, maybe we could add some green space in that area, but that would, for this, we couldn't do it until we go through that process.
Sure, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll make some changes before you see it.
Were there any other questions, comments?
You need a vote on it.
There's,
No,
there's
concept
no-
is just information.
It's just discussion. All right, being there's no other, we'll move on into major subdivision final plat. Lucas Grove Phase 3, single family lots west of Sun Circle, tax map 78K Group. A, partial 10, North Current Surveying Incorporated, representing the property owner, Torrey May Homes LLC, is requesting approval of a final plat for 6 single-family lots on a parcel totaling 1.22 acres, zone R2, medium low-density residential.
I should clarify that the total acreage is 2.04. 1.82 is where the single-family lots are, and 0.22 is the public right-of-way. We do have a nexus for the Nolan to Dolan and dedication of 50-foot right-of-way. You can see this is for 6 family units. There are conditions on here that we're requesting. It met all the standards with the exception of 2. And the 2 conditions is to complete the roadway paving. And the construction and as-built are actually connected to the roadway and paving. So before recording of the final plat, we'll need to have the as-built approved on that. But other than that, it met all the standards. It's consistent with the preliminary plat that was approved, April 2023. This was the preliminary plat that you reviewed back in April 2023, and that was, this is the actual, application today. It meets the R2 standards. The green space is not within this phase, which is 3, and then you're looking at the 6 lots around the cul-de-sac. But, pretty straightforward. And so staff is requesting the supporting approval of this with 2 conditions.
That's right before we get to Aiken School, there on the right, am I correct?
Let's see here. This is the aerial photograph.
They're just extending
Yes.
Lee Lane that comes off of
Yes.
Fairfield Pike.
Yes, sir.
Extends on down, and then it has that cul-de-sac, but then you're gonna come from the other direction
And create a new
over on,
cul-de-sac.
from Shadow. Okay.
Yes.
Now, that area right there is pretty low. As far as, had they put tiles in and bringing,
Yeah,
I think I had seen that when I went over there riding through.
they've done a lot through there, a
Yeah.
lot of dirt work through there, I've
Yeah.
seen, and for a few years.
Yeah, this was the project where they have some of the wetlands buffer in
Right.
there. I think it was in it might have been
Right.
in phase 2.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that we want to improve upon in our regulations is to remove that so that you don't have a buffer on a lot. Because what everybody does, once the houses are sold, everybody wants to put a fence in that buffer.
It's got a large detention basin that ties in with both sides of it, right?
Yes, sir. You can
See it right there?
You can see it right there.
Right there, yeah. Okay, and then the stream buffer is tied into that, coming right down.
Now, let's see where that, yes, you can see the
Right-
stream
right in
buffer is
there,
coming
right in
along
there.
the edge
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah,
And those are the lots that. you
and
can
see, they just
have
built
stream
on Lucas, they built those homes right up there. Just need to make sure about the water running situation there.
I do know that Lee Lane Continual, they named that there, and they're having issues with the mail, I believe, getting
getting to
Yeah, that crosses over there and it's causing some issues. But to the right there, the access off the Shadow Drive, that access there, I mean, that's been there for years. I guess it's a thought out deal, right? That goes
Yes.
between two existing dwellings.
Yes, and they do have a mail kiosk, and I can't remember in which
Oh,
phase it was, sorry, wrong direction. Um.
This is all R2, is this all R2, Tom?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
They do have a mail kiosk, but it's in another phase, but it serves this one as well.
So to just reiterate Mayor's question, the detention pond that's right there, that's servicing both, is that overlapping the creek and the waterway and the floodplain? Are they trying to just drain it into the waterway, or are they actually having enough volume in the detention to take care of the runoff for the neighborhood without utilizing footprint of the floodplain?
Yeah, so here's that detention area.
Yeah.
And then you've got the stream buffer, you can see the edge up here. So the stream follows along here, and then you've got that buffer, but, so the detention pond, yes, has enough volume to, support, this subdivision.
But are they actually constructing a berm there, or are they just clicking in a weir so it just overflows right into the floodplain? So what I'm wondering is if they're actually detaining it and the berm is high enough to detain it to naturally
Seep into the
seep
ground.
into the ground, or if so much water's going in there and it's just, they got a weir there that just kind of floodplains and then pushes it down the waterway.
Yeah, let me see if I can.
Because that's one
see
thing we
it.
need to try to be more conscientious of, is the fact that we need to make sure water's being taken care of on site and not pushing it into our water.
Yeah, and I believe that you cannot empty directly into a
Yeah,
stream,
not
especially,
supposed to.
yeah, especially.
In a perfect world, that would be amazing.
Yeah, this is a protected stream, that's
Yeah.
why you're seeing that buffer.
Yeah,
And typically the only time that you would have where it might potentially empty out is if it overflows.
overflows, right.
Yes.
So if it wasn't calculated properly and wasn't dug deep enough, and it's taking care of two neighborhoods, not just one, so you've gotta, like, make sure the engineering's
Yes.
correct.
Yes, and we are, and that's why
We're getting
before
more
we.
savvy about that.
Well, and before we can actually record the plat, the as-bills have to be done.
Right.
So, this one does have its stormwater management agreements all recorded, so.
Right.
But yes, those are the two things, transportation and water
Those
resources.
have been our learning lessons.
I understand.
All right,
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion.
And this is the one with two conditions on it. I can go back to the conditions.
Like a motion to approve with the two conditions.
Second. Motion made, seconded, roll call.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes.
Commissioner Wilhoit?
Yes.
Mayor Carroll?
Yes.
Commissioner Gill?
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chairman Landers?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Councilmember Blacks?
Yes.
All right, staff reports and administrative approval and spending.
Okay. First one is on Raby Avenue, lot Clearview Heights subdivision. The property owner, Daniel Gregg, is subdividing and just creating a single lot. This is the.
Is that the one where the tennis court is? There's a.
Yes,
court on it?
yes. That is the one where the tennis court is to be removed.
Oh, to be removed.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, so, this is just creating, this is the R1 zone district, so the minimum, lot area is 15,000 square feet. You can see it's 20,000 for both of them. Second one is 218 Eagle Boulevard. This was recently rezoned, that's why, this came in, I want to say several months ago, but it needed to be rezoned. And, this is a small parcel here that is being joined with a larger parcel. total acreage is 6.96 acres. So this lot right here is an I2, but it doesn't meet any of the bulk regulations until once it actually is joined together.
It looks a lot different nowadays, like gravel. It is.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, they're
like-
building there.
That's like to see.
Yes, and what was I thinking
I'm sorry.
about? I lost my train of thought on that, but that's okay. This one has already been approved and recorded.
Right.
Okay.
And yep, that's the plat that was reported. And then, if you want me to, I'll go right on to the discussion items. One of the issues that I've been having is just basically scheduling things to improve within the codes and as well as process, because I seem to be working for other departments too. But I'm trying to hit just every 30 days where we go through individual phases. And so in this meeting, I'll let you know what we've been working on. And in the next meeting, I'm hoping to actually I will have some of the items that are on the list. I'll read it off. They're minor, but they're critical. So some of them are definitions. One's for critical lot, what a development is, changing that. Mobile food services, because we're getting a lot of those, and that's a step towards eventually when we do have if the council and the mayor so wish, we'll have an ordinance on mobile food services. And then just providing definitions for short-term rentals. And then changing the table of appendix to add natural and other recreational parks and mobile food services. Parking standards, and then permitted encroachments within the building setback, which is what you're seeing here. We do have I guess a standard for encroachments in building setbacks, but it's very broad and general and kind of leaves it up to me to decide. And personally, I like to have standards, because then we can all kind of refer to the same, we can all refer to it. And I'm not, no one has to maybe appeal what I say. Well, but I've been building this list, and we also have an encroachment policy, or encroachments in the public right of way is already adopted under the building codes. So, because that's what kind of triggered this one, this project was, we're finding a lot of encroachments into the public right of way in the C1 zone, so on the square, which is where you would find it, because that's a historic area. The buildings are built right up to the right of way line. So, but we already have that policy for the right of way. And then what I'm doing is putting in, documenting and grouping together all the public encroachments and the setbacks. The other thing that I'm working for with stormwater is creating land disturbance application and guide for them. Eventually we'll reduce the amount of land disturbance. Like right now it's over an acre and it requires TDEC. But eventually we'll probably reduce that even more for local to capture some of the ones here. And then parking standards, this isn't a comprehensive list, this one probably will be a longer discussion. I don't expect everybody to, in a short time period, to push this through, because there are going to be discussions for it, and I will have examples of where we're seeing. We haven't seen a lot of issues, but we are seeing it, and as you said, on the especially high density residential.
Yeah, because there's a lot of other jurisdictions where there's a specific, like, parking lot and a half or 2.5, depending on the size of the house, and in residential, so it'd be beneficial to know that, oh, you have, a 2-family home, you're gonna need 4.5.
Yeah, because you can see within, right here, there's the townhouse, there's the upper story, And then you start getting into multifamily residential, and you start getting, different standards that require more parking space.
I would also like to encourage us to light a fire under the mobile food services, because I'm sure you guys are aware with the high school rebuild. Out at the high school, they're doing the track, and they opted not to do a concession stand. And in lieu, they're building a mobile food service parking area to bring in food trucks. And so we want to make sure we might want to get
Yes.
those in on.
Well, right now,
regulations.
yeah, right now, the reason why, I'll go to that screen here. Aside from just the changing of the format, you'll see on the right-hand side, the mobile food services, and I have a definition for mobile food services too, to cover all different types and where it's permitted. This isn't the final, so I don't know if it's gonna be available in all those zoning districts, but most of the times when we get an application for a food service truck, or food truck, I guess, and other types of food service, trailers, things like that, they are, they're required to put it in commercial areas. They can drive it home, there's no big deal with doing that, because right now, we have a fair amount that were business licenses that we received that where food service trucks are, their home-based occupation. So they'll park it at home and they'll go to a commercial area. But it is not, there actually isn't anything in the appendix, and I'm putting it in there because I'm dealing with one right now where somebody wanted to put it in an R4 area. And, but I still have leverage to say no on that one. But this is you're seeing the, this is what I'm helping out the Parks and Rec department too, you know. So you see the appendix there, and I also have the grade standards for Parks and Rec. Because right now, Parks and Rec, they're if you go by our standard for the parking area, it might be a little bit of a burden on the Parks and Rec department to go all concrete or asphalt. So, and then in addition to critical lots, I would ignore this bottom one on the development because it's really about the top one, the development. And the reason why we're wanting to change it is because it triggers different types of reviews, whether it's an administrative level review or a site plan review. That's where it's all that's where it's leading to. And we've had some issues in the past where, especially like grading applications, like the Walmart mass grading wasn't I don't believe that one was a planning commission review. I think that remained as a administrative level. And maybe it should have gone to planning commission, because of the amount. And then I think that might be last, that is it. I'll stop talking.
When is the next growth meeting?
Oh, yes, next growth meeting is September 8th, and we will have overlays in that as well. So, yeah, it seems like, I don't know, it's like when people start thinking about overlays, all of a sudden everybody needs them now. So, September 8th.
Good, I'm glad that's still going.
Yeah, we'll have the first overlay that we're focusing on is the bypass area.
On a side note, I was recently on our development webpage. I want to commend you. It looks really great. And I want to also say how I
Thank you.
love the fact that we're adding the GIS maps and the zoning maps, and the interactive zoning maps, because that's very helpful
Yes.
with developers and designers.
Yes.
So I definitely appreciate you adding that to our.
Yes, and well, one of the things that I noticed about what we do as a practice that I'm changing is like you'll see it in the year-end report, what I'm working on now, because what I'm doing is creating a kind of like it's almost like a 2-page newsletter, because what I'm hoping to do is to make it for public consumption as well. So I'm gearing it more in that view, so it's more graphical, less writing.
Yeah.
but you can see, and eventually, but it's, my biggest challenge is to create a working database.
Diamonds, yeah, so
Yeah.
Tennessee State has one, but when it comes to the outer regions like ours, Bedford and
Oh,
counties,
yes,
just
yes, I know
middle
what
of
you're talking
nowhere,
Yes.
you click on it, the information is very vague, but if you go into, say Wilson County or Williamson County where they have their own, like you go to the state GIS website, it will deflect you into the communities that have their own. And when you go into those, you get a lot of information as a designer where you don't have to bug the local community. I don't have
Yeah.
to call, the planning department and say, hey, what's this, what's this, what's this? It's all right there on the GIS map link. And so for us, adding that has been beneficial.
Yeah, and the database that I'm creating is an Excel file, because eventually when we have it in the GIS, we can actually just export it to the
Export it
GIS.
into it, yeah.
But that database is a catalog of eventually it'll be every single subdivision in the city, including lot sizes, the density, eventually
Yes.
that's what it's going to
We're
be.
moving in the right direction. I
Oh.
just wanted to commend you and thank you.
Thank you. And that's it for me.
All right, that's it. We'll stand adjourned.